Okay. My father was a great man of loyalty, integrity, and faith. He instilled these values in me at a very young age. He also practiced what he preached. Ever since his death back in October, I have fully realized just how great he was. How do we define loyalty? Feelings of support or duty towards someone. My father had a very different childhood than most. Born in Tuscaloosa and growing up in Birmingham, Alabama, Roll Tide. Even as a very young person, my father supported his family in ways that usually fell to adults. Since his brother, my uncle, was born after their father's death, when my dad was only 8 years old, he felt a moral duty to help take care of him. When he was in junior high and high school, he not only had to help his brother out with homework, he also had to meet with his brother's teachers about his grades and his behavior, which was not very good. As soon as he was old enough, my dad worked summer jobs to help support his family, and when he was 15 years old and got his driver's license, he began driving my grandfather, whose eyesight was poor, to doctor's appointments and numerous historical society meetings, such as the SAR. It was this that helped develop his love of history and led him to become active in many historical societies, such as the SAR, the SCB, and the Great Bridge Battlefield Waterways, in which he held numerous leadership positions and wrote many articles for historical publications. Furthermore, how do we define integrity? Integrity is the practice of being honest and showing a consistent and uncompromising adherence to moral and ethical principles and values. In ethics, integrity is regarded as the honesty and truthfulness or accuracy of one's actions. My father studied ethics at Oxford University in England, statistically the best university in the world, as the topic of most of his published writings. As such, one may judge that others, quote, have integrity to the extent that they act according to the values, beliefs, and principles they claim to hold. In ethics, when discussing behavior and morality, one can be said to possess the virtue of integrity if the individual's actions are based upon and are internally consistent with a framework of principles, such as an individual's actions, beliefs, and principles derived from a single core group of values. Lastly, how do we define faith? Faith is a strong belief in God or in the doctrines of a religion based upon spiritual apprehension rather than proof. My father's loyalty and integrity were bound together with his faith. After working for a number of years in corporate management with several Fortune 500 companies, his faith in God and his desire to learn more about the Bible led him to attend seminary at Reformed Theological Seminary in Jackson, Mississippi, where he ended up meeting my mother, who was working there at the time. Upon graduation, he began a new career in teaching at Christian universities such as Montreat College in Asheville, North Carolina, and Regent University in Virginia Beach, where he taught business and ethics from a biblical perspective. All in all, my father was an absolutely great man, whom myself and others can look up to and admire for his loyalty, integrity, and faith. He is the reason that I love history, the reason that I came back to TCC and get an education, and the reason that I am the man I am today. May God bless you all, and thank you.